Hi guys, what's up? My name is Talisa, and today I'm going to be giving out some kingdom-minded business tips for you guys. Be sure to subscribe to my page if you guys like to hear these kingdom-minded business tips, or if you want to learn more about toxin-free living and natural skincare products that have to do with my business. Be sure to follow as well. Today I'm going to be giving some tips on getting organized for productivity for your business. I like to keep my tips kingdom-minded, so relating it to the Bible, relating it to the Word of God. And so we see that organization is very important to God because we see how God organizes His church as well. So in 1 Corinthians 14, we see how God is organizing the structure of His church, talking about prophets, talking about ways that we should be speaking in tongues, and how to have order within the church. Paul says in 1 Corinthians 14:40, but all things should be done appropriately and in order. So in this way, we see that God favors organization. So when we think about our businesses, it's super duper important to stay organized, because I don't know about you guys, but like with me, if my house is dirty, if my area is dirty, it's harder for me to mentally be present and get the things done that I need to do. First things first is having your space organized, having your area organized and clean, and so that you can be less distracted and less pulled away from the things that you are meant to be doing, and actually coming back and doing those things. So one of the most important things that I do personally in order, and on those days when I do this, I definitely get a lot more done. I feel 100 times more productive, and I just feel better about my day. And that is day planning. So to start, I always start my day just spending time with the Lord. And I know that this is such an important aspect of life, because if you're not spending time with the Lord, then your mind can really just kind of be anywhere and everywhere. For me, like on days that I don't spend time with the Lord, I don't focus as easily. I definitely, get distracted, because the enemy comes to distract you. The enemy wants to pull you away from the purpose that the Lord has for you. So starting the day with the Lord, even if it's just waking up, reading your Bible, and trying to get in that mode, praying to the Lord, asking God for strategy for your day and for your business, because God has good plans for us, and He knows our day. So when we're planning our day, we should always go back to Him and ask God, okay, what can I do today for my business? What can I do today to be productive? And He's gonna list the things that you need to do for your business. So sometimes I even plan my day the night before. And in talking to the Lord and learning, what does God want you to do with your day? What does God want you to do with your business? It's a learning, okay? I'll admit, some days I will overload myself, try to do a whole bunch of things, or not listen to God when He's just like, hey, I need you to rest. Hey, I need you to spend time with your son today. Putting in time for relationships and self-care and valuing yourself as well is just as equally important as putting in that time for your work and for your business as well. Because if you're not recharged, if you're not spending time with yourself, spending time with your children, your loved ones, making time for relationships is extremely important, especially as a business owner. So me personally, I really spend a lot of time at home with my son. I try to keep him at home as much as possible. So I will actually block in little areas of my day just directly for my son, for spending time with him, for doing an activity, for going outside and playing, for waking up or making him breakfast. I literally write everything out. And what I personally use, and I'll give you guys a link to this, my friend actually made this. I love them. This is a literally hour by hour from 6 a.m. until 8 p.m. blocks. And as you guys can see, mine is all full. What I've scratched out is things that I've done. I highlight the things that I've finished, and literally hour by hour, you guys, I'm like, my first one is wake up. I don't know if you can see that. Wake up and spend time with Jesus. Like, I literally write everything down to a T that I want to do. I even have even taking a break, like things that I need to do that day, I prioritize. So I literally sit with the Lord the night before and I just talk about, okay, what is tomorrow? Thinking if I have any meetings, if I have anything that I need to go and do, whether or not it's going to be a day of mostly back end or making content or working on my website development or making products, because as a business owner right now, I am the person doing literally everything in my business, from website, email marketing, social media, making the product, packing the orders, working on branding, like all these things that everyone else does. As you guys probably know, when you're a small business, you're literally doing it all yourself. So the only way that I would ever get anything done, because I have so many things to do every given day, is by planning it. And then I also have like a weekly planner. So that's kind of like what I do every week on that certain day for my business, which I can also link for you guys in the description. I actually created my own digital weekly planner and it's free right now. I'm not going to charge you guys, but you guys can definitely click the link and you can download that so that you guys can have a way to schedule out your days. So first, let's talk about what's on the daily planner. The daily planner, like I said, you block it out hour by hour. And the one that I've linked for you guys, you can do it from 6 a.m. to 8 p.m. And then you have like a little area where you can write an inspirational thing. I haven't written anything today, but I usually like to write down like a Bible verse or something to like motivate me for the day. And I probably should write something down, but I'm gonna do that later. But that's really important. And then you're gonna also wanna list your top 3, which is right here in this square. And in your top 3, you're gonna wanna list like the 3 most important things. And because I'm kind of juggling between being a mother as well as running a business, of course my son is always gonna be my number 1, but I like to keep the top 3 like for business goals. And so for me today, it's YouTube, content planning, and as well as working on a podcast for my sister, which I'm also gonna link because she has an awesome podcast for mothers and business women. So me and her are very similar, and so I'm gonna link that below. But that's a side note. But it's super duper important to have like a top 3 things that you're like really gonna focus on as like your main goal. Like for me, today is like a content making day. Today is for planning out my week because it's Monday. And so I'm gonna be trying to like, plan out the things that I need to have. Content is extremely important to my business, as you guys can see, and I'm trying to like, start being more consistent. And so I've set today to be like a content planning day. And so that's why I've made all of like my content related things my top priority for today. The next type of planning that I have that I like to do on a regular basis is my weekly planning as well. And I actually created a weekly planner digital. You guys can download that. It's on Canva. You guys can use that template for yourselves as well. It's completely free. I'm not going to be charging it as anything yet, but you guys can download that and have it for yourself. I feel like weekly planning is really a great strategy to have because it helps you to really focus on your longer term goals and like goals that you have for the month, or even goals that you have even for the year, or even just for the week. It's great to just kind of have like a schedule. So like for me, I try to keep to this schedule week by week, and this is kind of like where I'm at right now with my business. Is Mondays I focus on content creation and planning, and then on Tuesdays I'm just gonna kind of pull it up right here. So for my weekly schedule, this is generally like what I like to get done. So for Mondays, I do content creation and planning, like I said. And then Tuesdays, I like to focus on email marketing, which is extremely important for an e-commerce business, as well as doing some website design, because I'm also the website designer of my own website. So just going in and changing the listings for products, working on some of it, because it's like doing a website can take hours, and having like a good website And so recently I invested in talking to an e-commerce expert, and they kind of told me the things that I need to change. And that's really like a longer project. So I try to focus on like one aspect of my website design day by day and just come back to it every single week, adding more things, doing some SEO. Maybe I'm doing some blogging, maybe I'm updating my product listings, maybe I'm changing the layout of my design, maybe I have a special going on, adding in those specials, adding in any new products, updating inventory, all that kind of thing, just working on my website and dedicating that day to that kind of work. And then on Wednesdays, I like to focus on podcasting and maybe any other content, as well as working on getting some grants, because we all know that having funding for your business and having capital for your business is one of the most important things. So I like to utilize grants, which I'm still learning about. I've actually received 2 grants at this point. One was for possibly opening up like a kiosk in an area, but at this time I'm not sure if I'm going to go that route. And then the other one was for some like free classes. And mentorship and getting these business classes in is super duper important. It helps you to know how to run a business, how to form a structure, how to do marketing. This one is actually a marketing class that I'm very, very excited about, and I'll be able to get a Google certification for free. And so I'm super duper excited about that. And then on Thursdays, I like to focus on product creation as well as packing orders and just getting my inventory ready for the week and just creating as much product as possible and sending out as many orders as possible. And then on Friday, I like to work on outreach, which is like wholesale outreach and going in and reaching out to different businesses, reaching out to different influencers, reaching out to different publications, and doing all that sorts of things. And then Saturdays, because Saturdays I'm also working in another job because I have a weekend job. But on Saturdays, I like to do a little bit of YouTube planning. So I like to dedicate that day to coming up with ideas, doing maybe some more scheduling, doing some more back end. And then Sundays, I like to take a break. So that's kind of like my overall what I try to do in a week, and I find it very, very important to plan out those weeks. And then on top of that, you guys, we should be also making sure that you're setting goals. And goal setting is actually a beautiful thing that is also a biblical concept. Goal setting in its own teaches you perseverance and to work towards a vision. And that you see that time and time again in the Bible, and when God talks about continuing a vision, when God gives people visions, you have to have like an ultimate goal in mind. But along the way, it's also important to set like little goals. When you set these little goals, you have less of a chance on giving up. When you like write something down, it's like putting something that's in your mind and making it a reality by just writing it down. I literally, this is my business journal, and I have separate journals for separate things. And this is the one that I use in order to set goals, write out ideas, write out things that God gives me, and just make it like a reality. And by doing something simple like writing something down, it really helps to mentally make note. That's why like I like to have like these digital copies, and you guys are totally welcome. If you have a digital copy, you can type it in. But I personally I like to like print it out and like literally like write it by hand. Because it's like when I do that, I'm like remembering, I'm doing it over and over again. And I can even like plan out that week based on that week. You know, it just really depends. Pen to paper, write it out every single week. So yeah, another type of planning that I like to do that I'm gonna go a little bit in depth when it comes to business is content planning. So content planning is something that I've talked about for such a long time, but me personally, I'm just getting better at it. I'm still learning, but this is the beginning stages, like I said, but things are starting to roll and I'm starting to get a little better at it. And I started to see right now, I'm not using Facebook ads or anything. I'm just purely using social media. But since I've started like content planning, and my goal for this year is to post every single day, which might be crazy, but that's my goal. And I haven't let myself slack on it. I posted every single day. And so that's just what I've been doing. I didn't decide this until probably like mid-January or so. So, you know, if you saw that the beginning of January was a little choppy, that's because I just started focusing on creating and posting on Instagram and TikTok every single day in just the last mid-January. What I've noticed since I've been content planning and posting a lot more is that before I used to go maybe get like one sale a week, or even like not even one sale a week. Since I've been posting consistently, like I've been getting like 1 to 3 orders a day, which has been like really awesome to see. And to watch my revenue just like slowly building has been really, really dope. And to see like a direct result of putting in the work, of putting your face, of putting your product in front of your audience every single day, it really truly does make a difference. Like even if you feel repetitive or whatever, it's still so important to like keep posting that content on a regular basis. The reason I feel like posting content regularly is really important, and actually like planning it out ahead of time, is because if you're just kind of like waking up that day and being like, oh, what should I post? Like that can, one, be kind of stressful. And number two, it just becomes like more random. Like there's not as much like structure to your content and to your feed. And so I've been working out structure because I haven't like found anything yet that like goes viral. But I'm trying to figure out like, okay, how do I incorporate myself? Like I said, like I'm going to be talking about more biblical values and just trying to figure out what works. But like I said before, like what I found is that when it comes to content, and I think I'm going to definitely be doing another video just clearly on content creation and social media, because it really is its own topic on itself, and I don't really want to get off the topic of organization and scheduling and things like that. But when it comes to content, it is super duper important to like be yourself and give some value, give some originality that people are going to want to see and are going to want to watch over and over again. So that's why I'm pretty excited to be incorporating these biblical values and to see how God really starts working through my content. So the last verse that I want to share with you guys is Proverbs 16:3, and it says, "Commit your work to the Lord, and your plans will be established." So when it comes to organization, when it comes to all these things, like commit your ways to the Lord. I think that's kind of like the overall message. When it comes to planning out your life and doing all these things, if you don't have God who is doing the planning and telling you what to do, then you're going to be building your own life. And that's just like building your house on the sand, like what I talked about. We need to be building our lives on the rock, and the rock is the Lord. And so when we commit our ways to him, when we sit down, when we schedule our lives with him, when we say, hey, God, do you want me to be doing this business? Do you want me to be doing this next step? Should I go here? Should I be focused on e-commerce? Should I open up an in-person store? Like whatever God tells you to do, just focus on those things. And like for me, God has been telling me, focus on e-commerce, focus on making content, focus on putting your brand out there with you as a face, with talking about me, with talking about the Lord. And this is definitely coming out of my comfort zone a little bit, because like I said, I've always kept it separate, but I'm excited to bring it together and to see what God really starts to do in this time, and to see how he starts to use my business for his glory, because that's really what it's all about. For me, it is always been 100% about making things for the Lord's glory. And if I can incorporate my business with his plans and see more people saved, see more people come to know the Lord through my sharing and through me talking about my experience and how I've been incorporating my business with the Lord, then that would be just the ultimate dream come true. So I'm really excited to see where this path takes, and to also continue to give you guys like real life business tips, to really start to share with you guys more about who I am, more about my values, more about my walk with the Lord, as well as how much my business has been a part of my walk. So I'm excited for this new chapter. I hope that this video is helpful to you guys. Let me know what you guys think. I do have a couple of templates for you guys. I have that daily schedule as well as the weekly schedule, and I can also get out like a little content calendar scheduler for you guys as well, so be sure to check that out in the description below. And once again, if you guys like content like this, if you like to hear about kingdom business tips, if you want to hear more about living toxin free, or just overall generally what it's like having a business, then I'm going to be posting on here weekly. So be sure to check it out. Be sure to subscribe to this channel and let me know what you guys think. Share this with your friends. And if you guys had any insights, or if you guys would like any prayers for your business, any ways that we can join together. I'd love to hear from you. You can message me or comment below. And once again, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys are blessed. And if you want more information about my business, then there are links to that in the description as well. And I do have a little coupon code because I always like to throw in a coupon code for first-time buyers if you want to try out some of my products. I know I didn't really talk about them too much today. I kind of kept on the business aspects, but I do have a whole range of toxin-free skincare products that are all natural, great for people with like eczema, rosacea, and sensitive skin, as well as natural candles and soaps and all sorts of beautiful things. So definitely guys want to check that out. Thanks so much for watching. I hope that this blessed you. I hope that this helped. And I hope you guys utilize some of the templates and things that I have left below. God bless you guys and have a great rest of your day.